Hello there, I'm Andy with Fathead's Bait Tackle and More, and also Fathead's Catfishing Guide Service. And today I'm doing a video on something that I've concocted. I'm sure I'm not the only one, but I wanted to have a big bait tank, so whenever the days where I'm in a hurry, I need to hurry up and I'm just ready to go fishing, I don't have time to go out and get the baits that I really want. So I decided to get a big tank where I can keep, hopefully I can keep some gizzard shad and some big gizzard shad, some sand bass, some crappie, just bigger fish, because I've got other tanks that I use for keeping perch and bluegill and that kind of thing, and I keep those alive for months at a time. But I wanted to be able to keep some really big baits, so I come up with this bait tank. It's a big water trough that I got at Atwood's, and it was roughly about 400 bucks. It's 580 gallons. Then I got I don't know if I'm saying it right, Vever chiller off of Amazon. It was roughly about 400 bucks. Then I got a pond filter. That's what I've been using in all of my tanks in my bait shop. So this is a tried and true method. This is just on a lot larger scale, so it's way bigger than what I'm normally doing. So that's going to be the test here, see if it works good for this. I'm kind of thinking I did buy 2 of the pond filters to run in this, but right now I'm only going to have 1 and just kind of see how that goes. And then I think it's a Danco is what it's called. It's an aerator, so it goes on the end of where it comes out. So what I've got is I've got a pump in the middle of the tank, and I wanted it as in the middle as I could, so I put it down in a basket so fish doesn't get sucked up on it. The baskets are a little pricey, but man, if you do this stuff, you don't want, overnight, if a fish dies, it can get sucked up to the pump, and then next thing you know, you come in, you got dead fish everywhere because your pump wasn't circulating. So I got a basket. I use PVC to run it from there to the pressurized pond filter, and then I use PVC, that way it just keeps it steady and out in the middle, because I wanted that basket in the middle as much as possible. So from the pump to the pond filter, from the pond filter to the Vever, I think, chiller, and then the chiller, it goes out of the chiller straight into that, I think that's called a Danco. It's just an aerator. It comes out, it's got a little hose that comes off the top of it, and it puts small little bubbles into your water, which is, you definitely, when you're keeping shad alive, you definitely want a lot of oxygen or aeration, and you need a little bit of flow going. That's one thing I've learned. You want flow. Also, you want to put salt, or in this I did put some shad keeper, which is such large quantity of a lot of shad keeper. I wouldn't recommend doing that unless you just like spending money. But I'm going to go get a bag of pool salt. That's what I typically use in mine, is pool salt. But I also have big filters that go on my garden hose that filters out the chlorine. I got that off of Amazon as well. And so anyway, that's kind of the setup I got going. So I'm going to shut up, quit talking, and show y'all what I did and how I set it up and why I set it up the way I did. So I haven't tried this one out yet, but it is the same. I'll show you one of them in the bait shop. So it's the same, pretty much the same exact setup, just on a much larger scale, because like I said, I want to be able to keep a lot of bait, around 50. If I can get into a bunch of big gizzard shad, I want to get up to 100 baits in this and see how that works. And if it does, great. If it doesn't, then I'll regroup and I'll just keep a smaller amount in there, because even just a couple of good sized fish I can actually use almost all day long. So that'll help me tremendously, where I get off work, throw my bait in the boat, and take off. So that's the whole plan here. But as big as it is, I think I'm gonna have to have a cast net to get my bait out of it, because after looking at it, I'm thinking, man, some of them shad and stuff, they move fast. So yeah, I don't know how I'm going to get them out just yet. I ain't thought that through. But a big net, of course, I do have, and then I might even use a little 3-foot cast net. Who knows? So I want to shut up and show y'all what I got going on. So like I said, I got this tank at Atwood's. It is the 8 foot by, it says 8 foot by 2 foot. Of course the top side's a little wider, the bottom part's probably a little narrower. It's measured from the ground up almost 25 and a half inches, so a little taller than 2 foot, but where I've got the water line is about 2 foot. So it said it was about 580 gallons. Tend to believe that. So then I run a basket in the center, and the basket stuff I got off of Amazon. That's what I run in all my others, and that blue stuff, that's the shad keeper I tossed in there. And I run a PVC pipe out of the pump, and it runs straight over to the pond filter, which is a pressurized pond filter. And then it comes out of the pond filter, so it comes in, then it comes out of the pond filter, down to the bottom of the chiller, goes in the chiller, gets cold, comes out, runs down. It's the only hole I had to drill. You can see the fitting at the bottom. Like I said, I think it's called a Danco. I'll look just to make sure here in a minute. But that's how that's hooked up, coming straight out of the pond filter, straight into that. And you can see the little bubbles and stuff that it adds. I do have 2 stones in there as well, trying to oxygenate the water. So that's how that works. Got a little pump. I've had this pump forever. It's a Frabill 110 pump, so not quite sure where I got it from. It's been a while, but you can see the UV light that I have to kill bacteria and algae growth. I have one there, and these pond filters actually have one inside. You can kind of see that blue light. That's what that is. So they work really well. I just usually use them in a smaller setting, but they are made for 2,200 gallons. Therefore, this is not 2,200 gallons. So this is my setup. I'm gonna catch some fish. Hopefully tomorrow I get to catch some fish and put in there and show y'all what's up and see if it works. Hopefully the chlorine, there won't be much chlorine. Like I said, I have a separator, plus I have some chemical in there. So anyway, so inside the bait shop, I'm going to show you some of the similar system that I have set up that works and been working for us really good. So this is on a smaller scale. So like if you're just wanting to, you know, like I said, smaller fish, which I've got some pretty good sized perch in here, and I've kept them alive for quite a while, and I have probably 15 pounds of perch in this other tank. So let me show you. So there's my pond filter set up. That's actually one of my brooders right there. That pond filter set up is going to my perch. And so you can see all my perch down there, nice and healthy. Hard to see those things, but they're in there. But I've been running this setup for quite a while, and it works good. I've actually got these set up where when you turn this knob, it'll go off. You can back flush it, and I've got a drain pipe back behind there, so it works out pretty good. So this is my same idea for the bigger tank. So my reasoning for going with this big of a bait tank, you know, smaller ones definitely work. So if all you're doing is catching a little perch, say sun perch, and even the small crappie, you could definitely keep them in the 110 gallon totes and do the same, use that pond filter. You know, you can build those ones that you know, the DIY, you know, build your own filter system. But man, they're with the pump and the filter that I have, they're like $150 or something like that. And like I said, they're good up to, you know, this one's 21 or 2,200 gallons. So for me, the money, I'd rather just get this filter and feel good about it. But you know, the reason why I did it is I do want to keep some really large baits, you know, 2-3 pound fish, and hopefully some, you know, 13, 14 inch or bigger gizzard shad. So that's my goal. The gizzard shad's what I am worried about, trying to keep those alive. The sand bass and big crappie and stuff like that, I'm not too worried about keeping those alive. I don't want like huge crappie, but the little bait size candy crappie, catfish candy, I'll keep some of those in there. But anyway, let me know what you think about this, if you think it's just silly or if you think it'd be cool to have. You got any questions about what I did? Something I didn't really explain well. I know I went fast with it, but if you got any questions whatsoever, just hit me up, let me know, and I appreciate you guys. We'll talk to y'all soon.